Good morning, students. Today our topic is consumer equilibrium and utility analysis. You know कि what if first word is consumer. So everyone knows कि consumer and customer is similar, but in the terms of consumer and customer are often little bit difference. Consumer is always and user of that product or services and might not have purchased, but customer become a consumer if they make a purchase and use the product or services. So you know the difference between consumer and customer. So here in this topic we are talking about the consumer. So you know consumer equilibrium means कि state of the maximum satisfaction. Second word is use the utility. In economic term, utility means satisfaction. कि when you are consume anything, how you satisfied. Yeah, all satisfies depends what you have to sacrifice. So we can say कि consumer equilibrium means कि when you sacrifice, like if I purchase a chocolate of 10 rupees, it means I'm sacrificed 10 rupees and I'm getting a chocolate of 1 piece. If my sacrifice and gaining is equal, so then we can say कि consumer is in equilibrium. So here is the some conditions of equilibrium. Conditional means कि in this aspect we have the two approaches. One approach is cardinal approach and second approach is ordinal approach. And cardinal approach is given by the Marshall, economist Marshall, and ordinal approach is given by the H.R. Hicks. So cardinal approach means कि we are calculate our satisfaction. We give the satisfaction, like if I consume one chocolate, so I say कि first my is 100, I give you the 100 marks. If I similarly I consume the second, I give the 80. So like that I can calculate the my satisfaction level. But there is some challenging part too. But in the ordinal approach means we are not giving the satisfaction marks, we giving the rank. So rank means ki like this in these days every app is used 5 star 3 star. You give the app, after using the services you give the rank ki how much star you are giving. According to that we will make our level. So it means ki this is the two approaches, cardinal approach and ordinal approach. But question is that what is utility? So utility is the power of capacity of commodity to satisfy human wants. Alternatively, utility of the commodity means मतलब amount what satisfaction I am getting. So if in I say कि utility equal to your satisfaction, like that book, if I'm reading the book, if I driving a car, if I eating an apple, my satisfaction is different levels. So for I earlier I explained that they have the two approaches, cardinal approach as well as the ordinal approach. Cardinal approach means कि I can calculate my satisfaction, I can calculate my consuming goods and services. Well, we can say कि we can measure our satisfaction. So that is called the cardinal approach. But ordinate is opposite. Ordinal approach means कि we are not measured, we just make the rank, we just make the grade. So in when we are reading the utility, क्योंकि data is you know कि utility is different, like old person utility is different, satisfaction rank is different, and as a consumer might as a child their satisfaction level is different. So but on this, so how we can judge? So always we calculate the three things: total utility, marginal utility, and average utility. The total utility means कि same time how much use I that units and what satisfaction I'll take. For example, if I use first apple, I give the 100, and second apple I give the 80. So my total utility is 100 plus 80, that is 180 utils, and its unit is called utils. So I use the 180 utils, that is my total utility. But when we talk about the margin means additional change. Well, if I consuming one additional apple, what is change in my total utility? That addition is calculated as the marginal utility. In marginal utility we can say it is positive or here I show one table. here a quantity like 1 2 3 these quantity, but there is the one assumption is there when we are calculating cardinal utility. One assumption is there ki all units which we are consuming that in the same time, and all goods size is same, all measure is same, all amount is same, and this is in the same continuity form. Like that, if I use the one unit, for example, if I using the one apple, I use the I give the 30 utils because I'm very hungry. But second util I give you the 55. 55 is my total utility, but 30 plus 25. So what is change in the additional? Additional change is 25. So this 25 is called the marginal utility. Then 3 it's 75. As you see in the table, my marginal utility is diminishing. First 30, then 25, 20, 15, 8, 0, even it becomes the negative. So total utility always increasing, but marginal utility is going to diminishing, but their ratio is different. So we can say कि marginal utility always decrease in the diminishing rate. Rate. So we have the three stages. If you check the relationship between that, कि first it is the positive क्योंकि total, as I go to the earlier slide, you see कि this is my 10, 18, 24, 25, 30. These are total utility. First it is the initial utility, मतलब it's and then positive, 0 and negative. But one thing, if you consider that thing कि when total utility is maximum, your marginal utility is 0, and when your total utility is increasing, marginal utility is decreasing. So we can say कि this is based on the law of diminishing marginal utility. So what is diminishing marginal of, okay, sometimes there is asking a law of diminishing marginal utility. So law of diminishing marginal utility means कि as consumer consume more and as consumer consume more and more goods, so the ratio of satisfaction, the amount of satisfaction is going to decrease. So this is based on the same as assumptions कि various unit of the goods are homogeneous, no time lag, this is on the continue form, consumer is rational, consumer know all and everything, taste preference all and thing remains unchanged, you can say these are the constant. Consumer know the perfect knowledge of the price of the market, no price change, and utility of the different commodities are independent of each other. So as I explained earlier, I don't slay this side, but when we follow this law of diminishing, if you're like here, I take the example of one glass. So you one glass, total utility is 20, margin utility is 20, because there is no utility. You can make this dash, but when it start the 32, matlab you take the one glass additional, and total utility goes to what is the difference? 32 minus 20, that is 12. When total utility going 42 minus 32, it's 8. You know here the difference between 20 and 12 is 8, and 12 and 8 difference is 6, and 8 and is 6, and then it's 0, and then it's going. So this is the first stage. Utility is decreasing, first 8, 6, like the difference between the first level, second level, it's going to decrease. That's why it is called the diminishing margin utility. Here you one thing you also see, when total utility is maximum 42, margin utility is 0. When total utility is decreasing after maximum, margin utility is going to negative. So this show by the diagram. So this show the initial utility, margin utility always decreasing, like is downward sloping form. So what is the limitation? Limitation means कि this is like if we there are some exceptional case like liquor, uh, pan, gutka, मतलब something which is very but here this rule is not applicable. ठीक है, misers who don't want to spend, that is not applicable. Rare collections like some diamonds, some rare collections of cars, there then the rule is not follow. Utility is subjective, we can calculate, we can continue. Every commodity of an independent commodity is not independent. Here he say there we are using only one commodity, but in practical we are using more than one commodities. Yes, students, good morning. Now our we continue that topic. We are talking about the cardinal utility. And cardinal utility, yesterday we discussed with the utility cardinal utility as well as the ordinal utility. So now we talk about the ordinal utility, where we cannot measure our utility, we can't measure our satisfaction, we just give the rank of our satisfaction. So that is called the ordinal utility. So with ordinal utility, there is one assumption we are added here, कि we not taking the one product, we are taking the two product, but we show by the indifference curve. It is given by the our economist Hicks. So as here we show by this by indifference curve. So first you know what is indifference curve. Indifference curve is a graph showing the combination of two goods that give the consumer equal satisfaction and utility. Each point of the indifference curve indicates that consumer is indifferent between the two, and all points give him the equal satisfaction level. Equal satisfaction level. Here is the based on the indifference curve based in the three main assumption. Rational consumer means consumer know all the combination, all the goods. Ordinal utility matlab we are just to make the ranking. Diminishing margin utility means ki if we are consuming one more and more but at the diminishing rate. And here show that one thing कि just if I take the oranges on o-axis and apples on axis and apples on o-axis and oranges on the oy, here a point shows कि if I consume one apple and 22 oranges, it give me the same satisfaction. If I consume two apples and 14 oranges, that give me the same satisfaction. And next C, D, E, these are the different combination. But remember कि it is based on our assumption कि A, B, C, D all giving the equal satisfaction, all combination given. But it shows one thing you show here कि first I sacrifice one, increasing only apples 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but oranges is decreasing. If I increase my one combination, other thing I have to sacrifice but at the diminishing rate. First I sacrifice 22 minus 14, there is a difference of 6, and 14 to 12, there is a difference of 2, there is a difference of 4, there is a difference of 1. Well, if we sacrifice some one good to getting another one more, this is the ratio is called the diminishing marginal utility, and it is always within the downward sloping curve. And remember, it is always convex to the origin. So what now question is, what is marginal rate of substitution? Marginal rate of substitution means कि willing to give up, just like that कि if I willing to give up oranges to get more unit of apples, so this is called the marginal rate of substitution. X means first you take the X product for Y. Y means you are sacrificed to getting the more product of X. So it is, we can say, decrease the consumption. Change in this arrow triangle, it shows the change in OY product due to increase in the, this ratio is always in the diminishing rate. So we can say कि due to marginal rate of substitution, it is always like this shape. You know, this is little bit bent. So you saw कि if you check this one arrow, we sacrifice more to get less, sacrifice less. You know the ratio between this and this is going to decreasing. That is so this is called the marginal rate of substitution. So but question is the where the consumer is on balance. So consumer is balance, which point I am more satisfied. So for keeping my balance, I have need the budget constraint. Budget constraint mean budget line, mean it's my line which I can spend on that both of product lines. So here it shows the budget line. Budget line means if I spend whole amount on the oranges, I spend 12, I get 12. If I whole amount on the excess, I get 4. So this is my total budget, means I want to spend 24, 24, 24. 24 means we check the prices. If oranges is 2 rupees and banana is my you can say ki orange is 2 rupees. So if I whole income spent on the 2 into 24, 12, that is 24. If I take 1 banana and 9 orange, you know orange price is 2 rupees, so it means 9 into 2, 18, plus apple cost is 18 plus 6, so apple cost is 6 rupees. Well, I want to 6 add here and reduce this, but spend of 24, it means this is my budget line. If I talk about below budget line area, this is under constraint and this is not approachable. I am not able to take this within budget line, and within indifference curve I am in the equilibrium, means where our budget line and our indifference curve meet, that point is the consumer equilibrium. Thank you, have a nice day, meet you again.